Imagine stepping onto a basketball court where speed, intelligence, and creativity matter more than size or strength. Now imagine not just surviving, but redefining the game with vision so sharp and leadership so inspiring that you change basketball forever. This was the reality of Steve Nash, the Canadian point guard who turned passing into poetry and made the impossible look effortless. Steve John Nash was born on February 7, 1974, in Johannesburg, South Africa. His father, John, was from England, and his mother, Jean, was from Wales. The family soon relocated to Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, seeking a safer and more stable life. In Canada, Steve grew up in a loving but modest household alongside his brother Martin and sister Joanne. Sports filled his childhood. Like many Canadian kids, hockey and soccer came first. In fact, Steve was such a talented soccer player that many believed he could pursue it professionally. But when basketball came into his life during his early teens, something clicked. He found a sport where his creativity and vision could truly shine. Nash wasn't an overnight star. In high school, he was far from a top recruit. He was skinny, undersized, and didn't even touch a basketball until he was 12 or 13. Scouts didn't think he had what it took to play at the next level. But Steve had one quality that no one could measure: relentless belief in himself. His high school coach once wrote letters to American colleges asking them to take a chance on his point guard. Most ignored them, except Santa Clara University in California. At Santa Clara, Nash began to prove the doubters wrong. His impact was immediate. In 1993, he led Santa Clara to one of the biggest upsets in NCAA history, knocking out the second-seeded Arizona Wildcats in the tournament. It was the first time the school had won a tournament game in nearly 20 years. Nash's leadership, shooting, and fearlessness made headlines, and he quickly built a reputation as one of the best guards in college basketball. By his senior year, he was a two-time West Coast Conference Player of the
Straight
Year,
seasons.
cementing his status as an NBA prospect. In 1996, Steve Nash entered the NBA draft. On draft night, he was selected 15th overall by the Phoenix Suns. For a kid from Canada who had once been overlooked by almost everyone, it was a dream come true. But his rookie years were tough. Playing behind established guards like Kevin Johnson and Jason Kidd, Nash barely saw the floor. Fans and media questioned whether he was worth the draft pick. Still, Nash didn't get discouraged. He worked tirelessly, improving his body, sharpening his shot, and studying the game at the highest level. In 1998, Nash was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, a move that would change everything. In Dallas, Nash teamed up with a young Dirk Nowitzki and Michael Finley. Together, they transformed the Mavericks from one of the league's worst teams into a playoff contender. Nash's chemistry with Dirk became one of the most entertaining partnerships in the NBA. His dazzling passes, quick decision-making, and deadly shooting turned Dallas into must-watch basketball. By the early 2000s, Nash had established himself as one of the premier point guards in the league. But the biggest chapter of his career began in 2004 when he returned to Phoenix as a free agent. Under coach Mike D'Antoni, Nash became the engine of the revolutionary 7 seconds or less offense. The philosophy was simple: play faster than everyone else, spread the floor, and let Nash orchestrate. The results were stunning. Phoenix became the highest-scoring team in the league, and Nash was its maestro, delivering jaw-dropping assists and running the offense with surgical precision. He wasn't the fastest or the strongest, but his vision and unselfishness made him unstoppable. That season, Nash won his first MVP award. The next year, he won it again, joining the ranks of legends like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird as back-to-back MVPs. He averaged double-digit assists year after year, all while shooting with deadly efficiency. Teammates like Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, and Joe Johnson thrived alongside him, often crediting Nash for elevating their games to new heights. But for all their brilliance, the Suns were often stopped just short of the NBA Finals. Heartbreaking losses became part of Nash's story. In 2005, a devastating injury to Stoudemire derailed their title hopes. In 2007, a controversial suspension of key players during a playoff series against the San Antonio Spurs cost the Suns a golden opportunity. Time and again, Nash and the Suns fell agonizingly close to the ultimate prize. Though a championship eluded him, Nash's impact went far beyond rings. He changed the way basketball was played. Today's modern NBA, fast-paced, three-point heavy, and built around floor spacing, traces its roots back to those Phoenix Suns teams led by Nash. Beyond the NBA, Nash carried the hopes of his country. Representing Canada at the 2000 Sydney Olympics, he led the national team to a shocking victory over Yugoslavia and a near upset of Team USA. His passion inspired a new generation of Canadian players. Names like Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Andrew Wiggins all grew up seeing Nash as proof that Canadian basketball could produce global stars. Off the court, Nash's influence was just as strong. He launched the Steve Nash Foundation, focusing on children's health, education, and opportunities. He invested in soccer teams, film projects, and business ventures. Twice, he was honored with the NBA's Citizenship Award for his humanitarian work. Whether it was funding schools, promoting healthcare, or supporting young athletes, Nash consistently used his platform to make a difference. As his playing career wound down, Nash joined the Los Angeles Lakers in 2012. But injuries to his back and legs robbed him of the speed and durability that had defined his game. Though his time in Los Angeles was frustrating, he remained a respected leader and mentor. In 2015, Nash officially retired, closing the book on one of the most unique careers in basketball history. His final stat line included over 10,000 assists, ranking among the greatest playmakers the game has ever seen. Even after retirement, Nash stayed connected to basketball. In 2020, he accepted the role of head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, leading stars like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. While his coaching tenure was short-lived, it showed his willingness to face new challenges and continue giving back to the game. Steve Nash's story is one of resilience, creativity, and leadership. He was never the tallest, the fastest, or the most hyped. But through vision, intelligence, and hard work, he redefined what greatness could look like. He didn't just play basketball, he changed it. His legacy lives on every time a modern point guard pushes the tempo, finds an open teammate, or makes the extra pass. That moment came in 1998, when Nash was traded to the Dallas Mavericks. In Dallas, he joined Michael Finley and a young German forward named Dirk Nowitzki. Together, they would change the Mavericks' future. Nash and Nowitzki built an incredible bond, on and off the court. They pushed each other in practice, shared countless hours studying film, and developed a pick-and-roll chemistry that left defenses helpless. By the early 2000s, the Mavericks were one of the most exciting teams in the league, and Nash was finally recognized as one of the top point guards in basketball. In 2004, Nash returned to Phoenix as a free agent, and here his career reached legendary status. Under coach Mike D'Antoni, the Suns launched the revolutionary 7 seconds or less offense. The philosophy was simple: play faster than anyone else, spread the floor with shooters, and let Nash control everything. And when Nash had the ball, magic happened. He turned assists into works of art, no-look passes, behind-the-back feeds, perfectly timed alley-oops. His vision made Phoenix unstoppable. The NBA had never seen anything like it. Nash won the league's MVP award in 2005, and then he did it again in 2006. Back-to-back MVPs placed him alongside legends like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan. But while Nash and the Suns were dazzling, the ultimate prize always slipped away. In 2005, Amare Stoudemire's injury derailed their championship hopes. In 2007, a controversial suspension of key players during a heated series against the San Antonio Spurs robbed Phoenix of another chance. Despite the heartbreaks, the Suns became pioneers. Their style of play, the speed, the spacing, the three-point shooting, laid the foundation for the modern NBA. Today's game owes much of its style to those Nash-led Suns. Beyond the NBA, Nash carried the hopes of his country. At the 2000 Sydney Olympics, he led Canada to a stunning upset over Yugoslavia and nearly defeated the United States. Though they didn't medal, Nash's performance was inspiring. He showed that Canada could compete with the best in the world. Future stars like Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Andrew Wiggins grew up seeing Nash as proof that Canadian basketball could produce legends. Off the court, Nash's impact was just as powerful. Through the Steve Nash Foundation, he focused on children's health, education, and creating opportunities for the disadvantaged. Twice, he won the NBA's Citizenship Award for his humanitarian work. He also invested in soccer, his first love, co-owning clubs and supporting the sport's growth in North America. Whether through charity, sports, or business, Nash consistently used his influence to give back. In 2012, Nash joined the Los Angeles Lakers. The team, loaded with stars like Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, and Paul Gasol, was expected to contend for a title. But injuries struck. Nash's back and legs betrayed him. The speed and creativity that defined his game were harder and harder to summon. Though the Lakers chapter was disappointing, Nash still served as a mentor and leader, offering guidance to younger players. Finally, in 2015, he retired, closing the book on an extraordinary career. His final tally: more than 10,000 assists, ranking him among the greatest playmakers in history. Nash wasn't done with basketball. In 2020, he became the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, leading superstars Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. Coaching came with challenges, and his tenure was short-lived. but it showed his continued passion for the game and willingness to take risks. Today, Steve Nash remains a symbol of inspiration. For Canada, he is a pioneer. For the NBA, he is a revolutionary. And for basketball fans everywhere, he is proof that greatness isn't always about being the loudest star on the court. Sometimes, it's about making everyone else shine brighter. That is the true genius of Steve Nash. And that is why his story will be remembered forever.